50 Shades of... Holy shit. 50 Shades of fucked up. Warning, there will be some cussing in this video. It's a review of 50 Shades of Grey. So yes, we're going to have some cussing. We're going to have some sexual talk. Get ready. So I came in this movie, I heard reports and whatnot saying it's very sexual. That's about it. That's what I heard. So I came in this movie thinking it's gonna be like another Twilight. I was dead wrong. I was utterly confused when he opened the door and he was talking about a contract, and I thought that was a little weird. But when he opened the door to a sex dungeon, that he had whips and butt plugs and handcuffs and different things I didn't even see ever. There's actually a part where it was towards the end, where people started getting up when they were talking about beating and whatnot, beating the girl, slapping her in the ass and whatnot. People were getting up and leaving, and it was like 20 minutes until the movie was over, and everyone just started kind of cracking up. I felt like there was a good audience experience. I felt like a lot of the audience really together as one big group kind of experienced it together, and kind of like almost like a comedy. You laugh together. This, you like look to the person next to you and you're like, dude, are they really fucking doing this right now? I mean, they really got into it too. I mean, I wonder how this movie would be looked at as if they closed the door. If they just walked in, he had handcuffs or something, and then they skipped the sex scene. I wonder how this movie would be um, looked at as a movie in a whole, in the eyes of audience, in the eyes of critics, in the eyes of just in general public, the media. All sex scenes and that stuff aside, and now let's just talk about the movie as a whole in general. I feel like this movie was broken down into three parts. The first 30 minutes or so was her liking this guy and interested by this guy, and this girl and this guy having some type of weird sexual fantasy, obsession, creepiness towards this girl. But the first 30 minutes of the movie, I really felt like it was slow. It had a Twilight feel to it. I didn't buy his I guess his love or attractiveness towards the main girl. I forgot her name, but he didn't seem it just didn't seem that like you're gonna pick her, really. Like, I just felt like that interview, that was the thing that made you like fall for her sexually. I didn't buy that. He was very creepy, and I felt like this girl should have been kind of more creeped out than anything. I mean, he's showing up at the bar you're at just to take you home. He shows up at your work. Maybe girls like that dominance or whatever, but I think that was a little creepy, personally. Biggest complaint I probably had about this movie wasn't the sex scenes and wasn't all that weird stuff. It was actually the time. I felt like it said 2 hours and 5 minutes, but it felt like 3 hours. It was to a point where when she went to go visit her mom at one point, I felt like in my head it was it was already around the 2 hour mark. I don't know if that's just because the story was dragging or because it was awkward or whatever it was, but it felt like that was going to be the ending. And there was another 40 minutes afterwards. I mean, there was another 3 sex scenes after that. If a movie's not action or if it's not very, very fast paced, if it's too long and it's a slower movie, like a movie like Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey, then um, it will fall into the okay, when's this movie ending category. Second third of this movie was about sex. It was sex scenes, bondage. The last third of this movie was very much the main girl in this movie was very getting creeped out by this guy, still loving him, still like him, but at the same time was almost afraid of him. So overall, I thought the movie was interesting. Um, I didn't think it. I mean, it definitely lived up to the hype. I guess I didn't think the bad acting was bad. I just thought that the characters themselves. Maybe we'll find out more in future films, but I felt like there was a lot of things that I didn't understand why characters had certain motives. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. I'm happy I would go. I'm happy I saw it. It was a fun experience. It was a different experience. But I wouldn't go tell my friends to go see it. I wouldn't go tell really anybody to go see it. Maybe check it out on DVD just to see what it's like. I feel like the big marketing tool that this whole movie did was the curiosity and just the intriguing fact that there is so much sex in it. I even walked out of the movie theater and looked to my left, and there was a poster of 50 Shades of Grey, and literally the biggest word wasn't 50 Shades of Grey. It was on top of 50 Shades of Grey, and it said curious. It just said curious with a question mark, and that was the whole motive. I mean, this movie made so much money because so many people were just interested to see. Media hyped it up so much to a point where it was like, you have to go check out this movie. If not, you're missing out. Hey everyone, hope you liked the review. Check us out on What Matters Now Entertainment on Facebook and on YouTube. See ya. I can't see. I can't see. I think I can't. Check us out on What Matters Now. Ooh.